Hi everyone, I'm Donna Brousseau. Not only do I love to cook, but most of all, I love to eat. And today we're going to cook one of my favorite recipes. We're going to do pesto and pasta. Now, just a couple of tricks with pasta. You have to have a pot that's big enough. So we've got a huge pot here. You have to have at least 4 quarts of water for every pound of pasta. Bring it to a rolling boil. Don't salt your water until after it's actually come to a boil, otherwise it's going to take too long. One thing you never do is oil your water. Because what happens is pasta releases its starch, and then when you stir in your sauce, the oil will just make the sauce slip off the pasta. So we're going to salt our water because it's at a boil. Salt about a teaspoon for every quart. One thing I do is I salt it, and then I just taste it, and if it tastes like seawater, it's bang on. We're going to use Cappellini today because we're going to do an oil-based sauce, and Cappellini, spaghetti, fettuccine goes great with it. So we're going to take our angel hair pasta. About a cup of dry pasta will make about 4 cups of cooked. I'm just going to let that go in there, and one thing you have to do is stir it off. So I'm just going to give it a quick stir, and then while that's cooking, we're going to start on a pesto. Now, pesto is usually made with a mortar and pestle. We're not going to do that today because thank goodness I've got food processor. And we're just going to chuck in some walnuts. We're going to do a variation today. Chuck in some walnuts. You can use any kind of nuts you want. You can use cashews. I do a really cool one with mint, coriander, cashews, and sesame oil, and I use it in Asian dishes. Then I'm going to use some parsley. So any kind of herb works. You can even use arugula. If you like a little spicy bite to your dish, use arugula. Put the parsley in. Then we're going to add some Parmesan cheese. You can use any cheese that you want. We're going to use Parmesan, a little traditional kind. And we're going to add in our garlic. You can never get enough garlic, okay? You know, my husband might disagree about with that. So we've got some garlic, and then I'm going to squeeze in some lemon juice. Lemon juice brings out the flavor in food, so if you have something that tastes dull, add some lemon juice, some vinegar, or some wine to it. It should bring it out before you reach for that salt shaker. So we're just going to put on our lid, and we're just going to whirl it up. How easy is this? So the last thing we need to add, we need to add our oil. So we're doing an emulsification, so oil always has to go in last. Looks great. I'm going to give it a little taste because I want to test it for seasoning. Use a tiny bit more salt. Tastes great though. Okay, there we go. That's finished. How easy is that? And the cool thing about pesto is you can make a zillion dishes of it. So I always double or triple my recipe. A secret I learned from my mom. 7 kids, she needed to know how to do it. So what I do is I add it to omelets, or I put it on top of a steak. I might even put it in a soup, stir it into a soup at the end. Adds a really cool element of flavor to it. So our pasta's almost done. Forget the throwing it on the roof or the ceiling. That doesn't really work. The only way to tell if your pasta's done is to try it. So what you're looking for is a little resistance to the bite. Tiny bit crunchy, so we just need a second more. Continue to stir it. Just give it another try. So you're going to eat and taste when you cook. That's one thing I like about it the most. Okay, that's great. So we're just going to go over here quickly and drain it. I want to leave a little bit of the water in because that has the starch in it, and the sauce will stick better to the pasta. Just going to pop over here. We're just going to leave a little bit of water in. Okay, so there we have it. All we have to do, I'm just actually going to pour the pasta into the pot that it was cooked in. The reason why you do that is because it's hot. So it's already hot, it's going to keep your pasta hot. I'm going to grab my pesto. There we go. And you always finish off your pasta with the sauce in the pot that you cooked it in. That's a trick I learned in Italy when I was working there. Stir it together. And then you can add any kind of topping that you want. So I'm just going to get a plate. I'm just going to grab a plate from the cupboard and plate it up for us. It smells absolutely amazing in here. That garlic, you can't beat the smell of garlic. So I'm just going to plate it up. You don't want to sauce it too much. You only want to dress it about the same as you would a dressing. So don't drench it in it. Just have it nice on top. So I'm going to add a few shrimp to it. add chicken or whatever you want. And there you have it. Quick, easy, delicious. Grab yourself a glass of Chianti and enjoy.